The microstructure of a material can reveal plenty of important details about physical and chemical properties of a material because it strongly influences properties such as strength, toughness, ductility, hardness, and wear resistance. So how it works? How do these microstructures reveal those important properties? A microstructure's influence on the mechanical and physical properties of the material is primarily governed by the different defects present or absent of the structure. These defects can take many forms, but the primary forms are pores. Even if those pores play a very important role in the definition of characterization of a material, so does its composition. In fact, for many materials, different phases can exist at the same time. These phases have different properties, and if we manage them correctly, we can prevent the failures in materials. In this practical, we are going to observe the microstructures of steel, cast iron, and alloy steel. When it came to carbon steel, we can segregate into three main categories according to the carbon content. They are low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, and high carbon steel. Cast iron also iron carbon alloy which contains 2 to 4% of carbon with small amount of impurities. Since silicon and phosphorus are found to have similar effect as carbon in cast iron, amount of carbon is expressed by carbon equivalent value. This is the equation we are using to find carbon equivalent value. In cast iron, new phases will appear according to the effect of impurities. In higher carbon percentages, it is favorable to appear carbon as graphite form. Let's move on to our steel and cast iron samples.
P2. This is a low carbon steel which contains 0.2 carbon, 0.13 silicon and 0.63 manganese. There are ferrite trains in this microstructure with the pearlite outlining in grain boundaries.
Next sample is P3. It's a medium carbon steel which contains 0.4 of carbon, 0.26 of silicon with 0.8 of manganese. As you can see, this is a microstructure contains ferrite in pearlite matrix. Next sample is N21. It's a high carbon steel which contains 0.8 of carbon, 0.2 of silicon with 0.2 of manganese. This is mainly pearlite matrix. It contains 0.5 of ferrite in small areas.
N24. High carbon steel. This is a steel which contains 1.3 carbon, 0.25 of silicon and 0.35 of manganese. There is no apparent directionality in this structure. This structure consists of pearlite with a thin network of cementite.
Next sample is M1. It's a grey cast iron. Carbon equivalent value of this sample is 2.8. It shows very short thin graphite flakes sparely distributed in a pearlite matrix with very occasional area of ferrite.
M4. This is a grey cast iron which contains 4.04 carbon, 2.04 silicon, 0.52 manganese, 0.032 sulfur with 0.018 phosphorus. There are phallic graphite and Krish graphite in a matrix of pearlite with a small amount of ferrite.
Next sample is M10. It's a white cast iron which contains 4.32 of carbon, 0.44 of silicon, 0.52 of manganese, 0.0 0.23 of sulfur, 0.06 of phosphorus, 0.05 of chromium. Its structure consists of iron carbide needles and well-formed ledebirite. Next sample is J8B. It's a spheroidal graphite cast iron. The carbon equivalent value is 4.21. You can see a graphite nodule in ferrite envelopes in a ferrite matrix. Next sample is J2. It's a malleable cast iron which contains 3.1% of carbon, 1% of silicon, 0.12% of sulfur, 0.05% of phosphorus, and 0.4% of manganese. This sample has been annealed, and here's the microstructure. It contains graphite nodules in a pearlite matrix, and it can see ferrite as well in this microstructure.